How can you access request data with Flask's request object? Imagine you're building a web app and want to understand what your users are sending your way. That's where Flask's request object comes into play. It acts like a messenger that holds all the information from the client's request to your server. To use it, you first need to import it from the Flask module with from Flask import request. Once imported, you can peek into the request to find out what data the user has sent. The most common way to get data is through query parameters, which are the key value pairs added to a URL after a question mark. For example, if someone visits /search, name is equal to John, you can grab the name by using request, args, get name. This is handy for GET requests where data is sent in the URL. If you want to handle from submissions, especially with POST or PUT methods, the data is stored in request form. For example, if the form has a field called username, you can access it with request, form username. If you're unsure whether the key exists, using request, form, get username is safer because it won't cause an error if the key is missing. When working with APIS or sending data in JSON format, you can use request_get_JSON. This method converts the JSON payload into a Python dictionary, making it easy to work with. For example, after calling data is equal to request, get JSON, you can access specific parts of the JSON data like data email. If the client uploads files, those are stored in request files. You can get a file by its name, such as file is equal to request, file's profile picture, and then save or process it as needed. Cookies sent by the user are stored in request cookies. To get a cookie value, use request, cookies, get, session ID. Also, knowing the request method is important to decide how to handle the data. You can check if the request was a GET or POST with request method. This helps you write code that responds differently depending on how the user interacted with your site. Here's a quick example. Imagine you have a route that handles both GET and POST requests. If it's a POST, you might get from data with request, form, get name, and JSON data with request_get_JSON. If it's a GET, you could grab a query parameter with request, args, get, search. This way, your app can respond appropriately based on what the user sent. In summary, Flask's request object is a powerful tool that makes it simple to access all kinds of data sent by the client. Whether it's URL parameters from data, JSON payloads, files, or cookies, you can retrieve it easily with the right attribute or method. Understanding how to use these features is key to building responsive and interactive web applications with Flask.